capacity crowd been on its feet since the player introductions. Their playoff motto, rise up. And the fans are ready for game 3 of the finals. Can LeBron James and the Cavs bounce back? Let's take a look at again our starting lineups. Of course, the big change. Daniel Gibson starting. Larry Hughes inactive because of that plantar fasciitis. Will not play tonight. So the rookie Gibson, who has been superb, gets the starting call. And our Spanish language version of tonight's game presented by ESPN Deportes. To access, use the SAP function on your TV as we're set to go. Danny Crawford, the crew chief, will get things started with Duncan and Ilgauskas. And Tony Parker brings it up for the Spurs. Parker has been brilliant through the first 2 games. The leading scorer in this series at over 28 a game. There's Michael Finley. Pavlovic on him. Finley looking to post up. Blocked by Gooden. And here comes Gibson. Last time Daniel Gibson played in this building is when he had 31 in Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals, and they were chanting his nickname, Booby. Gooden, shot no good, gets the rebound, back up, blocked by Duncan. Ball loose, and here comes Parker. Parker to the basket, stripped and fouled by Pavlovic. Well, let's start right off with a big change. Daniel Gibson in. He's been effective coming off the bench. What impact will this have on the Cavs?
I think it's going to have a big impact, especially on the offensive end. A guy that has the ability to knock down shots, stretches the defense, and he's extremely confident playing great basketball.
Hughes playing on that plantar fasciitis, showing some real grit, playing through pain, but it was obvious he was far from 100% and really struggled defending Tony Parker.
And I feel badly for any player who makes it to this stage and is not able to compete at 100%.
And it says a lot about Larry Hughes, a guy hurt. He's financially secure. Could have folded the tent and buckled over, but gutted it out for his team. But Mike Brown, the proper decision, trying to get him healthy.
Meanwhile, Parker misses a couple of free throws.
And some would say where I'm from, the ball doesn't lie. He wasn't fouled, so therefore misses both free throws.
Gibson guarded by Parker the other end. Gibson not really a pure point guard. He's been a scorer and has played well in the series shooting the ball. James. Gibson off the dribble, a 2-pointer. And Michael Finley the rebound. They are 7-1 on their home floor, the Cavaliers, here in the postseason. They have been terrific, and the crowd a big part of it. So into this team, they've fallen in love with them as a team making the finals for the first time. Ball knocked away by Pavlovic off his foot, though, and still Spurs ball. Greg Popovich was ready to get on his team even after the Game 2 victory because of the way they played defensively in the second half. Always the perfectionist. Duncan on the drive, backs it in, tough angle.
And that's solid defense. The big guy from the weak side, and Ilgauskas comes over and contests the shot. You live with the results.
The Cavs have really struggled offensively in the first half of games. The Spurs defense again putting on a clinic. Gibson to the basket, can't get at the ball. Ilgauskas second tip, third tip. There's a good one. And boy, do they need Ilgauskas to play well.
Well, that's Cleveland's greatest strength. Their ability to get multiple second shots. Gooden, the first possession, got a second shot. Now Ilgauskas, a couple second shots.
Ilgauskas has really struggled. 4 of 16 from the field in the series. But they say he's had good looks. Oberta. Finley to Duncan. Quick turnaround. And Tim Duncan makes it look easy.
If you're Mike Brown and the Cavs, you want to stay true to the game plan. Those are 2 tough shots by Tim Duncan. They're not dominating the paint area. You live with great defense because that was better offense.
Pavlovic to the basket. Nice move. And got hit, so he'll go to the line. As Tim Duncan picks up his first.
And because of the presence of Gibson on the perimeter, the defense has to chase out. All of a sudden, you're rotating, and Ilgauskas is able to bang the offensive boards. Excellent energy and a big-time putback.
So Duncan with his first. Pavlovic will go to the line. He's been in double figures in each of the first 2 games. It's the free throw. It's always been a good score. Again, a young player, just 23 years old, in his 4th year in the league from Serbia and Montenegro.
a better first step than I remember his first 3 years in the league. Not just a spot-up shooter. He's got the three-point range, but also, as we've seen in this series so far, he can really put it down. Good first step.
And Ilgauskas tips it back out. Another new possession off a missed free throw. Boy, we've seen that a lot in the last couple of weeks in the postseason. Pavlovic on the drive. Nice feed to Ilgauskas. Lost it and stolen by Parker. Mike Brown says the #1 key for them tonight is trying to stop Tony Parker, or at least slow him down. Duncan to the basket, in and out, and Gooden another rebound.
And if the #1 key is stopping Tony Parker, then you are excited about the way that your defense has started this ball.
Gooden can't finish. Duncan tips it, and taken by Oberta. The Spurs, an excellent road team during the course of the regular season. 27-14, 5-2 on the road in the playoffs. They're a team that have played so many big games on the road. Loud crowds normally don't bother them. Oberta, and James the rebound.
I thought Parker should have been more aggressive coming off that high screen. In the first 2 games, he was attacking. That time, he came off as a passer as James attacks Oberta on the high pick and roll.
Blocking foul on Oberta.
And LeBron James does a great job. You see the big guy step out, take it to his body, gets the call. But the reason why Tony Parker is not aggressive is because no longer are they going underneath the screen and roll. The big guy is jumping out, and Gibson is running towards Parker. So he's no longer able to get to a sweet spot.
James has been guarded by Bowen. Of course, team defense have their first lead. The Cavs in the first 2 games have led for a total of 101 seconds. That's it. The Spurs dominating in San Antonio. And an offensive foul called on Tony Parker, using the right arm to clear some space.
And you look at Gibson that time, denies Tony Parker the basketball up into the three-point line, and then leaves him alone. And then Tony Parker trying to blow by, and that's Larry Hughes, with all due respect, it's not any contact.
Now they're saying, now the call, excuse me, it's on Oberta, not on Parker. Oberta barely touched the defender, but that's his second foul, and he comes out of the game. Robert Horry quickly in. Pavlovic, aggressive to the basket, and puts it in. Oh, what a tough shot from Sasha Pavlovic.
I like how he's driving that ball the entire series. A better finisher again than what I thought.
And a whistle away from the ball. Ilgauskas picks up his first. Pavlovic has got great size, 6'7".
Well, we talked about Pavlovic in the last game. He was the other guy besides LeBron James in attack mode. Takes it between 2 Spurs defenders, and he is a phenomenal finisher. Great athlete, and certainly playing with an edge tonight.
The rough starts, the Cavaliers have talked about it. Feel like they're going uphill the entire series, especially in game 2. Blown out in the second quarter. Duncan from way outside banks it in. And he's 3 for 4 from the field. Danny Crawford blowing the whistle. And that's because Ilgauskas is bleeding on his right hand. So he'll get 30 seconds to go have that attended to, or otherwise they'll have to take him out. There you see the officiating crew of Crawford, Delaney, and Bernie Fryer.
Doug is a great basketball player. Look at the focus, the eyes, very patient, getting everybody out of the way, and says to Ilgauskas, it's time to dance. And by the way, the bank is open.
Well, the Spurs so professional. And you heard all the typical comments after the first 2 games. Manu Ginobili saying, hey, we just maintained home court advantage. Nothing else. Of course, they did it so impressively. Spurs' only weakness in the first 2 games was their inability to avoid a letdown after getting the big leads.
And I've just come up with a great way to break momentum. You should cut yourself instead of using a timeout. You know what I mean? Like, you know, if bad runs going on, all of a sudden, bring out the little razor blade, get yourself a little momentum breaker without using a timeout.
Well, they had one here last game. Of course, game 6 of the conference finals when they had that scoreboard and clock malfunction. They had a 20-minute, about 21-minute delay. As Ilgauskas getting patched up, but they're going to have him sit down while it's further attended to. And Varejao back in the game, off the bench. Pavlovic, aggressive for his offense. Sasha. Pavlovic already with 5 points.
And they're making a concerted effort to go to other people early and see if they can get started and then let James get into the flow.
James likes to start the games that way. Ball deflected by Gibson. Bowen, a rare two-pointer. Nice outlet pass. Pavlovic up and under, and unable to convert it as Bowen got back in a hurry. Varejao, a very active defender on Duncan. Duncan gets away, knocked away. Horry out to Bowen. That's his favorite spot. Hits a three. He's shooting in the 20% from two-point range and close to 40 from three-point range. He just loves those corners.
Another guy that sticks with his strengths. They find him in the corners, and that's where he's been making a living for a long time now.
Just past the midway point of the first. James and Gooden again tips it back out. 5 rebounds already for Gooden, and 7 offensive rebounds for the Cavs in 6.5 minutes.
Out of bounds.
Pass inside, kicks it out to Parker. Parker at 3, doesn't shoot many threes, unable to hit. And as the Spurs now 4 for 13 from the field. Varejao feeling comfortable. Maybe too comfortable.
Come back to us, Andy.
Now, he has played better on the road in the playoffs. He gets so hyper. He's such a fan favorite here, sometimes too excited. Bowen from the right corner. And again, Bruce Bowen from downtown.
But when you trap a pick and roll with a shooting 4 like Robert Horry on the floor, you just spread out the rotation so much. San Antonio, great job moving the ball quickly. 3 passes to Bowen's corner jumper.
And Bowen leading them in scoring with 6 here in the early going. The defensive whiz likes to get his shot opportunities. Gooden can't hit. Parker the rebound. Parker has been so efficient in this series, not only averaging 28.5 a game, but shooting 58%. Of course, a lot of them layups. Gets into the paint again. Nice pass to Duncan, and the finger roll. No, it falls out. And here comes James. Rifle pass to Gooden. Couple of head fakes and a hard foul. LeBron James already with a couple assists and that close to being a 3rd one. Timeout. Just under 3 remaining. Cavs fans love what they see so far.
So much about shooting to improve his bad shooting here in the finals. He just wanted peace of mind. He said, I'm more concerned about my turnovers. He has 12 turnovers. He said, if they're going to trust me to touch the ball almost the entire game, I can't turn it over. The Spurs are too good. For a report of the Spurs, let's go over to Michelle Tafoya.
All right, Stuart. Well, many talked about how this atmosphere might impact the Spurs tonight, but before the game, Greg Popovich said, if we play poorly tonight, it will not be because of the crowd, and if we play well, it will not be because our players tune the crowd out purposefully. I think our players came to play. And he added that they've been in arenas like this quite a bit, Mike, and all the hoopla doesn't really affect them.
Well, all their finals experience, of course, 3 rings since '99 for Duncan and for a number of the other players too. Meanwhile, what Stu was talking about, LeBron James came into this game with only 1 more field goal than turnovers. 13 field goals, and as Stu said, 12 turnovers. You give a lot of that credit to the San Antonio defense, but James knows that he has to play better, obviously.
Well, really, they're doing a great job of defending him with 2 or 3 guys. Tonight, he is a different player, being extremely patient, getting other guys involved, and waiting for his moment to take over this game.
Bowen, nice fake, and draws the foul. James went for it. Haven't seen that during his career. Bruce Bowen, little head fake on a jumper. As he'll go to the line, we'll take a look at our fantastic forward to watch for tonight. That, of course, the big 3 for San Antonio, and James, only the 2 points, but directing the traffic. And Parker, who's had great starts, has only taken 1 shot.
Well, they've been going into the post a lot more to Duncan than running pick and roll. Tony Parker getting a rest right now. But I think when Robert Horry's on the floor and Tony Parker's in the game, they can run high pick and roll with Parker and Duncan and get any shot they want.
Meanwhile, Bowen to the line. Bowen is guarded throughout the playoffs. Allen Iverson, Carmelo Anthony, Steve Nash. Darren Williams and now Tony Parker. Talk about a guy that has given the toughest assignment night after night. But that's how he's made it into this NBA. Not drafted, and now one of the premier defensive players in the league. Shot clock down to 6. Bad pass stolen by Bowen. Ginobili. And Jacque Vaughn in the game. Ginobili from way outside. Short. Damon Jones is checked in for the Cavs, and he gets that rebound. Donyell Marshall also in for the first time.
And I thought that last possession, LeBron had the mentality. His mind was made up to pass off the pick and roll. He has to be aggressive and make the defense come and then make the play.
Looking to post up, double team, gets it out. Varejao hesitates. Shot clock at 3. Now takes a more difficult shot and puts it in as the shot clock expires.
But he did a terrible job with James in the post of bringing his man to the action instead of letting James just back his man in.
Well, really 2 mistakes. First of all, that as Duncan comes on the other end. Nice one off the glass, but Varejao has to take open shots. If LeBron does the work, you have to take shots that are available.
And you see Duncan already with 8 of the 14 San Antonio points as we come up on a minute remaining. Ball poked away by Duncan. Varejao wanted a foul. This officiating crew with Delaney, Crawford, and Fryer, they tend to, as we have a foul called on Duncan, push off. That's his second. I was just going to say, they tend to let the players play. They're that kind of officials, but not on that one.
Again, with all that contact in the paint, Duncan's done a good job sealing. I know he's got the hook, but to me, play on.
Are you kidding me? That's a foul. That's
on a consistent basis, regardless of the severity of the hook. Something they wanted to weed out. Jacque Vaughn pulls back out. Vaughn on the drive. Robert Horry. Ginobili. Shot clock at 3. Vaughn a contested shot, and he puts it in. How about Jacque Vaughn playing very well in limited minutes off the bench, helping Tony Parker get a rest.
Jacque Vaughn is a true professional. I've been around him for quite a while now. He's a guy that you can play 1 minute or 30 minutes. He's going to be ready.
He's learned from some terrific point guards. Played with John Stockton and Jason Kidd. Shot clock and first quarter winding down. James won't go. Varejao, the rebound. Crowd urging him to put it up, but he won't get it off in time. He's a little hyper, but he has the energy. And the first quarter comes to an end, and the Cavaliers for the first time finish a quarter with a lead, any quarter. Game 3 here in Cleveland. Little different story thus far for the Cavaliers.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
His hot dog. It's his off-season diet. Of course, our obligatory Eva Longoria shot. And perhaps a future NBA star, Greg Oden, who perhaps will be the #1 pick. Nice pass from Marshall to James, full head of steam, and he's fouled from behind from Jacque Vaughn. And they're saying on the ground. Now, will it be a clear path foul? Did James get ahead of everyone?
I believe he was, Mike. I think it is a clear path.
That's what the officials are discussing now. Are there any Cavaliers ahead of them when the foul? Nope, that should be a clear path foul. The play originated in the backcourt. And that's what it's going to be, or is it just going to be a 2-shot? Nope, clear path, 2 shots and the ball. Now they changed that rule this year. It used to be 1 shot in the ball. The crowd thinks that it should have been in the act of shooting, but they're getting a good call here.
But Daniel Gibson should not be shooting the free throws. LeBron James should be shooting the free throws.
Apparently anyone can shoot on this. And again, last year the rule was 1 shot in possession.
I don't think anybody can shoot on that.
We'll get a clarification from the officials. Danny Crawford now. Now they're saying, all right. Not saying LeBron James go to the line. Did the Cavs try and pull a fast one? Yeah, the Cavs tried to pull a fast one.
Man, give Jeff Van Gundy a whistle, man.
No, we don't want to do that. Trust me.
You know what? If the Cavaliers could double team Tony Parker as well as you guys are double teaming me tonight, they'd be in good shape. Lay off.
An attempted dupe by the rookie from Texas as James goes to the line.
And just a quick comment on Peyton Manning, the second best passer in Indiana sports history, next to my man, Mark Jackson.
I love this guy, man. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm going to get sick. So now after the 2 shots, he'll take it out. The 2 Indiana stars were chatting before the game. Did he have anything interesting to tell you?
Yes, I congratulated him on the Super Bowl and also the Super Bowl MVP, and just a class act. My time in Indiana, that is one of the best to ever do.
That was one of those, as you call it, fake hustle hugs, though. That half hug.
But you should see Jacque here doing the announcing, using all those hand signals now that Peyton Manning does during the game. It's embarrassing.
Cavs lead by 3. We've just begun the second quarter. Gibson, short. Last touch by Elson. Varejao's been a little frenzied here to start, but he's making things happen.
I think if you're the Cavs offensively, you have played great defense on the other end. You have to find a way to increase the lead. This is a situation where you have to execute offensively and be aggressive.
And I like what Mike Brown's doing. He's playing LeBron James the whole game so far. He's played Daniel Gibson the whole way so far. You got to play these guys until they drop.
James has had a nice balanced game to start. Bowen gives him some room. And James can't connect. He's 2 of 6 from the field. But his team leads by 3.
That's really a good shot, catching it below the 3-point line and stepping into a jump shot.
And a late whistle and a foul. The Cavs upset because Bernie Fryer was in the baseline, and he did not call a foul. Danny Crawford, the trail official outside, called it. But that has nothing to do with it. Sometimes the closest official gets eaten up by the play. Although that looked like a pretty good block. So Elson will go to the line. In substitutions, Marshall will sit down. Ilgauskas and Pavlovic is back in. And here's Francisco Elson to the line, one of the more interesting players in the NBA. Grew up in the Netherlands. Didn't play hoops in his native Holland until he was 17 years old. The reason, his mother was afraid, didn't want him to play, because he had an older brother, Patrick, who died of a heart attack while playing basketball. But finally, he asked his mom, can I play? Kept asking and asking. She relented. And he went to junior college in Texas, 2 years then at Cal, 4 years professionally in Spain before starting his NBA career in Denver. He wore number 56 for a long time when he was in Denver. That was his brother's number. And he always talks about continuing his brother's dream here in the NBA.
I'll tell you what, his brother would be extremely proud, because here's a guy that works harder than anybody else coming into this building. He's the first one here and is in full sweat before anybody else comes on the floor.
And very interesting, San Antonio has downsized, playing 4 smalls and Elson, and now LeBron James, Mike Brown match, and LeBron James is at the 4.
Late, LeBron on the block, too strong.
Near history of the franchise. They are in the NBA Finals. When he was drafted, he said that he will light up this city like Las Vegas. I don't know if it's Vegas yet, but he has certainly gotten this crowd in this city enamored with him and his team.
He has been better than advertised when you talk about the expectations of him coming into this league. It's been incredible.
$158 million? Are you kidding me? He should get a cut of that.
I think he's getting his cut. He's doing fine in the money department. And as meanwhile, he's picked up his second foul. 2 team fouls on the Cavs. Ginobili. Finley against James. Smart play going right at him and banks it in. That's Finley smart, knowing James has 2 fouls. He's not going to be over aggressive. Meanwhile, Parker hasn't scored a point. He's only taken one shot.
Well, it really is the adjustment that they have made defensively also, making Parker start outside and go east-west as opposed to headed north towards the rim. Also, defenders doing multiple things.
Shot clock down to 5. Pavlovic again goes to the basket. Damon Jones for 3. And a whistle beforehand. Bernie Fryer with the call. So Elson picks it up away from the ball. That's his first. Second team foul on San Antonio.
Again, I like how Pavlovic drove that ball, created a play out of nothing.
He's been aggressive since the first time he touched it. Shot clock down to 7. You hear the Z chants for Ilgauskas. Jones is going to have to put it up. And another shot clock violation. So that one will not count. And for Cleveland, that's their 5th turnover. Damon Jones playing sparingly early, but without Larry Hughes. Again, if you're just tuning in, he's inactive with that plantar fasciitis, so he will not play tonight. Other guards will get some extra minutes. Pavlovic, good aggressive defense. Ilgauskas tipping the rebound to himself. Scott Pollard calls him the lengthy Lithuanian, using all his length there to grab that one. Jones for 3. It's good.
And here's what I like. Pushing the basketball off of makes and misses. All of a sudden, the Spurs defense is not able to stare you down and rotate. LeBron James makes a play and gets Damon Jones a wide open shot.
Their largest lead of the game. Finley has been struggling with his shooting, and it continues there, but Elson, an offensive rebound. Deflected out of bounds. Last touch by Bowen. Duncan getting his rest after a strong start. And Ginobili sits down. Brent comes in.
And once again, Mike Brown sending a message. He wants to get LeBron on the block.
Snow getting more time in game 2 after barely playing in game 1. Alley-oop to James. And the pass, a poor one. Parker drives on Pavlovic. Kicks it out to Finley. That's a 2-pointer, and Michael Finley knocks it down.
And what I don't like on the other end, if you have Bruce Bowen defending LeBron James on the block, don't try to be fancy. Just get him the basketball and let him do all the work.
Both Bowen and James have played the entire way thus far. 16 minutes. Ilgauskas. Nice soft touch from the big guy. He told us this morning that they have to establish a little postgame, whether it's him or LeBron James.
He's a big guy that can score on the block. I just like to have him fight a little tougher to get the ball low.
And Tony Parker with his first points. And Duncan set the Chet back in.
The best post move there is to catch the ball in the paint where no move is required. You just catch, turn, and score at the rim.
Ilgauskas calling for it. James on the move inside, draws the foul. And he'll go to the free throw line, which has been a disaster for both teams so far. Cavs 3 of 6 and the Spurs 1 for 6.
And I like the aggressive move by Ilgauskas. First trip, he scores. The second trip, puts the ball on the floor. Defense comes, finds the open man, and allows LeBron to attack the basket.
There you see the, I hate to use this word, but putrid free throw shooting. Sorry if that was a little harsh.
No, I don't think so. They were looking at the numbers when you said putrid.
And James, 1 of 2 thus far. Knocks down the first. Of course, you can see every game of the finals right here on ABC. We kick off our coverage at 8:30 Eastern. Tip off shortly after 9. Game 4 Thursday, right back here in Cleveland. And a game 5, if necessary, Sunday here in Cleveland. And then if the series goes back to San Antonio next Tuesday and Thursday for games 6 and 7. James hits a pair.
You see the adjustment that Greg Popovich made. Decided to go small also, so he has 4 perimeter players on the floor along with Duncan.
Duncan gives it up to Parker. James guarding him now. Parker to the basket, and again with 2 fouls, James had to back off.
Good recognition by Parker, and LeBron immediately looks at Pavlovic and says, you have to help. You have to be there quicker.
Ilgauskas doubled. Cavs moving the ball much quicker. James inside. Good help defense from the Spurs.
But his catch on the post-up was far too far out. It's at 12, 15 feet instead of on the block where he could go quick.
Duncan goes quick to the hole. Can't get it to fall, and Gibson the rebound. Pavlovic, quick three. Won't go. Ilgauskas the rebound. Stripped down low, but gets it back. And they'll reset. The rookie Gibson getting the start tonight. And an offensive foul. That's 3 on LeBron James. He doesn't like the call. Danny Crawford was right there. And James, who had foul trouble in game 2, picks up number 3.
And this is just good recognition. Tony Parker, understanding LeBron is guarding him, takes it to his body, eliminates the shot blocking ability, understanding he had 2 fouls, and finishes over.
Mike Brown arguing the call. The Spurs bring it up. That was a big topic as Parker gets to the basket. Lefty layup won't go. Duncan the rebound. Bowen for 3. It's good. Third three-pointer for Bruce Bowen, and it's a 2-point game.
And as Parker goes to the rim and Ilgauskas gives support, Daniel Gibson has to veer back and block out Tim Duncan. He gave him a free run for the second shot, and then the Bowen 3.
Ilgauskas, he's been aggressive, calling for it. Wild shot, and he puts it in. And that's Duncan if it's on him. That will be his 3rd foul. So now Duncan and James each with 3 personals. And we'll have timeout. Interesting turn of events in the last couple of seconds. Big Z puts the Cavs up by 4. Jeff, that you didn't think Mike Brown should have taken LeBron James out with the 2 fouls early in the opening minutes of the first quarter. How about now? Keep him in the game, or is now a good time?
If it got back to tied, I'd bring him back in. Tim Duncan, I'm sure, will be out the rest of the half. I don't think if you're Cleveland, you can go down at halftime.
Well, I think if you're Cleveland, the advantage that you have is that Tim Duncan is not on the floor. So you're playing 5-on-5 and understand that these guys are more than capable of holding the fort down.
Parker with a hand in his face, can't get it to fall, and Gibson with another rebound, his 3rd. Gibson hasn't scored, but he's played good defense and has helped out on the boards. Ilgauskas left open, and Bowen the rebound.
Right now, they're playing small on Drew Gooden. They got to pound that ball into Drew Gooden against Michael Finley.
And Finley was looking to shoot before he caught it. 4 turnovers on San Antonio as we go to Michelle Tafoya.
Well, once Tim Duncan came out with that 3rd foul, Greg Popovich addressed his team during the last timeout. He said, I call this adversity. Now we got adversity. We got adversity now. He couldn't say it enough, guys. And Bruce Bowen, just moments before that, said to his team, adversity is how we got here. We can get through this. We'll see if they can.
Such an experienced, poised team. As Gibson makes the run, comes up short. Robert Horry the rebound. Spurs are shooting 41%, same number as the Cavaliers. Finley for 3. Won't get it to fall again, and Gooden the rebound. Pavlovic again, hard drive to the basket. Oh, he puts it in on the reverse. Sasha Pavlovic with 7 points.
I don't think that's Pavlovic. That's Ginobili in a Cavs jersey.
20-second timeout, San Antonio.
Sasha Pavlovic aggressively going to the basket. You love it, Coach Van Gundy.
I do. Here he goes. Puts his head down, drives it, uses the rim for protection, finishes it. Cavs up 6.
Taking pictures of it since they put it up yesterday. Again, this city has been so wild about the Cavs being in the finals, and they are wild about their team up by 6 right now. Oberta able to get it in.
Fabricio, Oberta.
High pick and roll, high pick and roll, high pick and roll. With Parker, keep putting it into his hands and let him create shots.
Cavs have led by as many as 7. Gooden falling away. Gooden doing a nice job, 5.7 boards.
One thing you recognize coming to Cleveland, the role players were going to step up, and they certainly have in the first half.
Parker deflected by Gibson. Gooden, nice pass ahead. 2-on-1 break. Pavlovic, oh, nice feed. And the Cavs with their largest lead of the game.
Unselfish basketball. Gibson with the recognition, making Tony Parker decide, and Pavlovic handing it back for the easy lane.
Gibson's defense on Parker has been very strong. Oberta tips it out, and Brent Barry able to get it. Barry on the drive. Parker, Barry for 3. That's good. They're now 4 of 7 from downtown. Best three-point shooting team in the playoffs. They were number 3 in the NBA during the regular season. It's one of their big weapons. Pavlovic tried to split 2 defenders and lost it. 2-on-1 the other way. Barry, oh, bad pass to Parker.
I tell you what I love. Multiple things being done defensively by the Cavs. Chasing down shooters. That time Elson could have given it up a layup, and then Gibson runs back, forces the turnover.
Timeout here in Cleveland. 2:10 remaining in the second. Cavs so glad to be on their home floor. Capacity crowd has been wild throughout as they've hosted the NBA Finals for the first time in the 37-year history of the franchise. Bill was actually the one that brought the Lawrence O'Brien Trophy here to Cleveland.
Great shot in the newspaper. Bill exiting the plane with the trophy in his hand.
He was caressing it. Pavlovic, shot won't go. Here comes Parker. Parker was a little shaken up before. Barry inside, misses the layup, but Parker right there. Parker had stepped on a foot of one of the Cavs earlier and was kind of hobbling, but apparently he's okay.
And that's inexcusable effort if you want to win a championship by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Give up on the play, thinking Brent Barry's going to stick it in, doesn't, and you're jogging back. 3 guys, trot.
And a coach mad.
He sounds like a coach, doesn't he?
Good double team. Deflected. And it's going to be San Antonio ball.
Horses trot, players sprint.
James with 3 fouls, sitting down. He has 9 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. He got off to a terrific start. His team is led by as many as 8. Right now, though, the advantage just 3.
And this is a crucial final minute and a half for the Cavs. You want to continue to go in a half with the good things that you've done so far.
Oberta misses. He's mad. Normally knocks that down. And deflected out of bounds by Horry. A minute remaining. Eric Snow saying, get down here. I need some help.
5 to get it over.
It's 8 seconds to get it over half court. They changed that rule several years ago. It used to be 10. Ilgauskas, 5 on the shot clock. Falling away. And Ginobili the rebound. Ginobili's done an excellent job on the boards. 7 rebounds a game in the first 2, but he has not scored tonight. Horry lines that one up and nails the 3, and the game is tied. An 8-0 run by San Antonio. And Mike Brown wants to use his 22nd timeout. So Brown not happy as the Spurs have quickly tied this game up with 26 points. Cleveland Cavaliers playing much better on their home floor. It was halftime of game 2. They had the 3rd largest halftime deficit in NBA Finals history, down by 25. But even with LeBron James on the bench with 3 fouls, they've done an excellent job here in the first half. About a 6-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Gibson lost it, gets it back, tied up, lost it again, as it was too far under the rim. And the Spurs will hold it for the final shot. No. David Jones the foul, and they had a foul to give, smart foul. So the Spurs will inbound with 7.1 remaining.
That's a continuation play right there. That's in the act. He had picked up the dribble. He didn't continue on with another dribble, so that should have been 2 shots.
Certainly very close as the Spurs will take it out. Pavlovic calls out the play. Barry, Horry, and Ginobili. Several three-point shooters with Parker and Oberta. Parker on the drive. Gets inside. The floater. Oh, pretty shot at the buzzer. And despite all that great work from the Cavaliers, it's the Spurs who finish up with a 10-0 run and will take the lead once again going into the locker room.
A disappointing end to the half for the Cavs. Tony Parker, dribble penetration, gets to the cup. Tim Duncan excited.
Duncan's post-ups. He said the guys on the perimeter have not been aggressive enough. There have been too many turnovers. They need to move the ball better, space out better, and be more aggressive, guys.
And they were more aggressive, certainly, in that second quarter. Ilgauskas out to James. Pavlovic sets for 3. And Ilgauskas, the offensive rebound.
Right play. Ilgauskas with a wide open jump.
Ilgauskas 11 total points first 2 games, and he's got 10 here in game 3. Oberta, nice up and under move. He might be slow, but he's very crafty down there.
I take it personal when you call somebody slow.
Pavlovic on the drive. Gibson for 3. And Duncan, the rebound.
Pavlovic has had no problem blowing by Michael Finley, particularly to his left hand.
Duncan. There's Parker. Shot clock winding down. Tony Parker, a rare open look for him, and knocks it down. He's now 5 of 9 from the field. And Mike Brown not happy as the Spurs with their largest lead. He calls a 20-second timeout.
And my problem in that situation is a pick and roll. If you're Drew Gooden, you have to tell Gibson which side the screen is coming from. Help him on defense.
Now it's a full timeout. Cavaliers desperate for a win here in game 3, but right now they're down by 4.
To have someone to know that it's consistently going to be the same, understand what you're going to do in practice, to understand what they want from you in the game, to understand the schemes and the changes that he's going to make. It makes the game a lot easier for me.
And Pavlovic wouldn't have it any other way as well.
And I know how you play for multiple head coaches. You don't make the playoffs or you lose in the first round, and the Spurs don't do that.
Not very often. Duncan spinning against Ilgauskas. Good no call that time. Ilgauskas just put his hand straight up. There was contact, but Duncan initiated it. Dangerous pass, deflected, and it's still going to be Cavs ball with 14 on the shot clock.
James had a turnover on a similar play in the first half because he's trying to thread the needle into the paint versus just making the easy extra pass on the perimeter.
Mike Brown has said to him, you don't have to make the home run pass, make the simple one. He now has 16 turnovers so far in the series, 6 in the first 2 games each and 4 so far tonight. Interesting pass that gets to Ilgauskas, and he comes up short.
And this is called ugly offense. You have to look to be aggressive, get into something quick. But it starts on the defensive end, and the Cavs started off so effectively because they got stops.
The extra pass from Duncan. Oberta inadvertently took a swipe in the face. Oh, nice move, blocked by Ilgauskas. Excellent recovery. Gooden. James clapping his hands for the ball. Gooden lines up that shot. And Ilgauskas trying to save it. He does. Ball knocked out of bounds. And Cleveland will get a new 24. No, they never lost possession, so it's 22 on the shot clock.
Another second shot opportunity, but off the block shot of Ilgauskas. I like the Cavs pushing the ball, not allowing the Spurs to set up. That's the only way you're going to be effective all night long on the offensive end.
Pavlovic wide open, good look, can't hit. And the Cavs unable to hit their perimeter shots here to start the third.
But James was aggressive against that double team. He took the big man on, drove around him, jumped in the air, and found a wide open Pavlovic for an uncontested three.
Gooden on Duncan. Quick move. In and out. Oberta nearly tipped it in. Ilgauskas, meanwhile, a double-double, 10 points. And the Cavs have tied it again. Timeout, San Antonio. The Quicken Loans Arena has been a wonderful place all season for the Cavaliers. 7-1 in the playoffs. Denver upset the 63-wing Seattle Sonics. So he knows what it's like to pull off the big upset. Let's check in with Stu Scott.
Mike, I was talking to Drew Gooden before the game, and he said, you know, I think our problem has been we've been concentrating too much on X's and O's and matchups and all those kinds of things. He said we should just play. We got here by just playing basketball and having fun. He even equated it to golf. He said your best things on the golf course are not when you're thinking about your grip and your stance and your posture. It's just when you just swing. That's when you have your most success. And, Mike, I think Drew's tee time Thursday, round 1 at Oakmont is going to be with Tiger at like 10 a.m. or something. I'm not sure.
Well, I hope their tee times won't be happening for a while as they can try and extend this series. It has been a defensive battle, to say the least. 3.5 remaining in the third, and neither team has hit the 50-point mark. And Gooden grabbed Horry, not a smart foul at all.
But just to go to Drew Gooden's point right there, so you can't just play. You just can't just play. Right there, you've got to know Robert Horry on the run, side pick and roll, always slips. So it's a combination of both. It's preparation that frees you to play with that freedom by knowing what the other team's doing.
Ginobili, offensive foul. Greg Popovich can't believe the call. Ginobili, who's still scoreless now, 0 for 5. Ooh, that's a tough call.
Well, it's a tough call, but the contact was made by Ginobili going to the body of Varejao. He's trying to get out of it. He's going away from Ginobili. Ginobili, a great job of forcing the contact, but that is an offensive foul.
You know, you look, Varejao has the right down that space going down the lane. And as you said, Ginobili did go into him on the second replay.
All I'll say is, I'm not watching the same monitor. That's a drive to the basket. That's no foul on anybody or a foul on Varejao. I agree with Greg Popovich. Are you kidding me? He's like sliding sideways. If you call that, it'll be an offensive foul on every drive.
Well, Varejao shaken up on the play and has to come out of the game. James for 3. Can't get it to fall. They just can't hit anything from 3. And it's a foul, loose ball foul on Gooden, as Gooden picks up his third.
I like that shot by LeBron James, though. If they're going to back up off you, shoot the jump shot. You work too hard. This is the biggest stage. Don't leave here thinking I should have shot.
He's now 4 of 12 from the field. Came in the first 2 games, shooting just 35% in the finals.
Both teams have gone small again, so LeBron James is at the 4, and he should get to the post.
Parker. He's been almost automatic on those moves. Gibson, meanwhile, just with 2 points. Gibson has had 16 and 15 in the first 2 games. Lines up a 3. Too strong and Gooden, and another loose ball foul on Gooden. That's 4 on Drew Gooden. And 4 team fouls.
Foul on the Cavaliers, number 90, Drew Gooden. His 4th personal, his 4th foul this quarter.
All 4 fouls in this third period. And he'll take a seat, and good sight for the Cavs. Varejao back in.
Drew Gooden, you have to be smarter than that. You just got caught with the same play. Hit yourself in the head and say, I got to play smarter. Don't come down and make the same exact mistake.
Varejao still grimacing a bit. He's still shaken up. Parker. Rifle pass to Bowen. Barry hits a 3. Brent Barry from downtown. 3-point shooting is huge in this game. Spurs 6 for 11. The Cavs 1 for 10.
I can't say enough about the decision making of Tony Parker. Forcing the deep.
Keep posting him. Milk it.
That's where he is again. Quickly the double team. Damon Jones. Pavlovic can't get it to fall.
I tell you what, off the double team, you are surrounding the floor with shooters. Damon Jones, Gibson, Pavlovic, they have to be ready to catch and shoot.
Ginobili. Bowen on the drive. Varejao, hard foul. And that's what some of the Cavs are talking about when Parker goes to the basket, or anyone from the Spurs. A hard foul once in a while could do some good.
It's about time. I was thinking the same thing as everybody else on Sunday night. Was Tony going to get whacked? But it was Tony Parker I was talking about.
So Bowen will go to the free throw line with 1:15 remaining. Tony Parker has been whacked frequently in this series, but he keeps getting up. Although tonight just 5 of 12.
They need to make his screen go black.
Bowen misses. Again, you can see every game of the finals right here on ABC. Our coverage kicks off 8:30 Eastern. Tip off shortly after 9. Game 4 Thursday here at Quicken Loans Arena. And then if a game 5 on Sunday is necessary, right back in Cleveland. Game 6 and 7 next Tuesday and Thursday in San Antonio if the series continues.
When LeBron James posts up and they double, I would like to see them throw it out and then give him a second look in the post where he can repost.
Coming up on a minute remaining. Third quarter. James kicks it out. Damon Jones for 3. Won't go. 1 for 11, and they've had good looks.
It's a make or miss league. You got to make in this game to make it look like good offense.
Bowen tries a 3 and puts it in. Bruce Bowen once again with another three-pointer. His 4th of the game. And a problem with the wetness on the floor, I believe. The officials quickly attending to that, make sure nobody gets hurt.
And Bruce Bowen says it's in the corner where he slipped and it's wet. All of a sudden, steps on the trophy.
Spurs, meanwhile, this is their largest lead of the night. You see Bowen getting it done offensively. Greg Popovich likes to say, you know what we say to Bruce Bowen? For 82 games a year, you have to guard the opponent's best player and play like it's your last game. Oh, and by the way, we won't call a single play for you all season long. And he accepts it. He admits he doesn't like it because he feels he has something to offer offensively. But he is just a superb defender, and he's got that man to cover. No easy task. So now they've got the court still trying to make sure all the wetness is off. Apparently somebody must have dropped a drink. There you see fabulous career, and not drafted out of Cal State Fullerton. He's made himself into one of the best defenders in a number of years. Certainly, Jeff, you think he's the best perimeter defender.
Great, and persistence pays off.
Gibson got hit, and no call.
And that's certainly a foul. Gibson going up for the shot. Ginobili contested. Looks like he got a piece of Gibson on the release.
Shot clock is turned off. We've had 27 total points here in this third quarter. Ginobili can't hit. Ilgauskas the rebound. And that will end the third. A 5-point San Antonio lead. And this presentation of the NBA Finals will continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Lowest combined scoring quarter in NBA Finals history. This is ABC Sports, home on James. 13 points, 7 assists, and 6 rebounds. He had some foul trouble again in the second quarter. The crowd a little anxious right now. Ginobili. Barry, hop step for 3. And Donyell Marshall with the rebound. Marshall hasn't played much here tonight.
I tell you, basketball is not complicated. It's going to come down to other guys stepping up and making shots off the penetration and the double teams of LeBron.
James backing in against Bowen. There's the double. Bad pass stolen by Barry. LeBron James with his 5th turnover. Duncan. Ilgauskas trying to swat it away. Ginobili for 3. And James the rebound. Going right with him as soon as he gets the rebound. Marshall for 3. Now 1 for 13 from downtown. That's not a great shot.
No, and I would rather see LeBron James attack in transition versus bounce it out. And then when he comes off the pick and roll, if he's open, shoot it. Go down with your best player shooting the ball.
Barry drills the 3, and it's an 8-point San Antonio lead. Mike Brown quickly calls timeout. Their largest lead of the game. And this arena has gone. 2 games have been up by so many. But look at it this way. Tim Duncan hasn't scored since the first quarter. He has 8 points. Manu Ginobili hasn't scored a point, yet they're up by 8. Shows you how important their defense can win these type of games. Marshall stripped. And trying to save it. Probably should have let it go. It's Cavs ball. They never gained possession, so there's 6 on the shot clock. Good hustle from Vaughn. Here in the first 2 games, Cleveland's 4th quarter. Again, granted big leads from San Antonio. James a 3. In and out. They just won't fall from 3-point range. Now 1 for 14. Duncan calling for it. Lost it. So much time. Cavs certainly don't have to settle for the 3s. They take another and miss another.
Well, you say settle for the 3s, but that's penetration, and that's kicking it out to a shooter. You live with making the right play. That's a shooter with a wide open look. The only thing is you have to knock them down.
The Cavs have not taken a free throw in the second half. 5 of 9 for the game. Duncan banks it in, and it's a 10-point game. And Duncan with 10.
There's no room right now for discouragement on Cleveland's part. Keep making the right.
He's up to 76% in the postseason. 7-point game with still plenty of time remaining. Duncan telling Finley to go through. Makes his move across the lane. Tough shot, defended well. And the ball goes right back to Duncan. And a held ball. Pile on the ball carrier.
That's just outstanding hustle from Eric Snow. Tim Duncan leaned to get the basketball. Snow wanted it more than Duncan in that situation. Sold his body out, hit the deck, and now he's going for a jump ball with the bigger Duncan.
But they're saying not Ilgauskas. Yep. Easy tip. Just over 3 minutes gone by here in the 4th. Finley lines up the 3 and in and out. And Gooden with another rebound, his 10th. Gooden lines it up and knocks it down. 5-point game.
And you see Mike Brown not getting any offense from Gibson. Inserts Eric Snow as a playmaker and a primary defender on Parker.
Gooden having his best game of the finals. 11 points, 10 boards. Duncan across the lane. Gets the roll. Tough shot from Duncan.
If you're Ilgauskas, you're probably thinking, what do I do? If I give him the jump shot, he knocks it down in my face off the glass. If I push up closer, he rolls to the hoop with the leading, running one-hander.
He only has 12 points, but a couple of big buckets here in the 4th. Gooden, the height advantage on Finley. Can't get it to fall. Tipped out. Ilgauskas just got his fingertips on it. And they get a new 24. Bowen right on the tail of James. Inside to Gooden. Blocked by Duncan, but a foul. And Gooden will go to the line as Barry picks up his first. Crowd wanted it on Duncan, which would have been his 5th. And here's Gooden, the man who's been the subject of trade rumors every year that he's played here in Cleveland. Finally signed a big deal in the offseason, although his name still came up in the trade rumors in February. He was so happy a deal never came about. This is his 3rd year with the Cavs. Started off with Memphis, then with Orlando. And you see doing an excellent job on the boards tonight.
And Brent Berry just went out. He and Bruce Bowen have given them timely offense tonight. 7 for 9 from the three-point line when Duncan and Ginobili have struggled to play efficiently at the offensive end.
Spurs lead is 5. Chance of defense from this capacity crowd. They're a little nervous, though. You can feel it. Parker with 4 on the shot clock. Fires away, puts it in. Tough shot from Tony Parker.
Once again, good defense. You force Tony Parker to do something he's not used to. Shoot jump shots over a contested Ilgauskas. You get back and try to get another stop.
64-57. Yes, that's a 4th quarter score. James goes to the basket. Lots of contact, and Parker picks up the loose ball. Mike Brown wanting a foul. Bowen looking. Finley, 3-pointer, puts it in. Michael Finley, a timely shot, and the lead back to 10. Another timeout called by the Cavaliers. It'll be a 22nd timeout as San Antonio hits their 9th 3-pointer of the game. Michael Finley playing in his first finals, looking for his first ring. It's a timely 3, and the lead is double digits again. Really hurt them. And a quiet bench night for the Cavaliers. Snow, Pavlovic, Gooden, Varejao, and bumped by Bowen. Lobs it in. Varejao against Parker, and he lost it out of bounds. 13th turnover for Cleveland.
But that was an excellent decision by James. Varejao wide open under the rim, just fumbled it out of bounds.
Coming up on 4 minutes remaining in one of the lowest scoring finals games that we've seen. Bowen, 4 on the shot clock. Duncan spinning. Can't get it to fall, and Snow the rebound. Duncan screaming for a foul. Snow back to James, gets inside, bank shot won't go, and Duncan the rebound.
I like the idea of getting stops, though, and pushing the basketball. It boils down to the defensive end for the Cavs.
3.5 remaining. Snow trying to pick up the charge. Parker the teardrop. James the rebound. Crowd desperate for a basket. The crowd getting on its feet. James for 3. Won't go again. And Horry the rebound.
And a good shot, though. In and out, but a good shot. You step into a rhythm jump shot.
Shoot it the next time, too. Keep shooting the ball.
Duncan pumped away by Varejao. For the Cavs have certainly had their opportunities in the last couple of minutes. Snow calls out a play. You can feel the crowd wanting him to drive to the basket. James takes it to the rim. Misses again, and Horry the rebound. It just won't fall for the Cavaliers. And San Antonio calls timeout. Opportunity after opportunity. The Spurs haven't scored in 4 minutes, yet the Cavs still trail by 4. Just under 2.5 remaining here in the 4th quarter. Excellent look. Just won't go down. And the Cavs hoping they're not running out of time. Scoreless 0 for 7. Duncan, a slow night offensively, but the Spurs still lead by 4. Their defense has been superb. But can LeBron James carry his team to victory tonight? Ginobili lobs it into Duncan, knocked away by Snow, and saved nicely by James.
Great job by Eric Snow coming from the weak side, deflecting the basketball, and good hustle by LeBron.
Cavs with yet another chance. Bowen, terrific ball denial on James. James on the drive, inside, tripped up. Well, let's see if they call it in the act of shooting. It should be. Bernie Fryer checking with Danny Crawford, who says yes. And Ginobili picks up the personal.
But Bowen backing up off him, either pull up for the jump shot or look to be aggressive. That time LeBron turns the corner, contact made, and going to the line because of his aggressiveness.
These, without question, the biggest free throws of his career. Team down 4 here in game 3. Big one right there. Want to hear what the coaches and players have to say about tonight's game? Log on to NBA.com following the game for live press conferences and video highlights of the Spurs and the Cavs exclusively on NBA.com. So quiet here now. Big free throws from James. An 8-0 run, and it's a 2-point game.
And give the Cavs credit. Their defense has allowed them to still be in this ball game.
Under 2 minutes to go. Duncan poked away. Horry the pass to Bowen. Parker back to Bowen. Shot clock winding down. Horry inside to Duncan. On the drive, stripped but fouled. And Duncan will shoot a couple if it's on Gooden. He's done, and that's it. Gooden is fouled out with 13 points and 12 rebounds. Not a bad foul, even though you don't want to leave the game. Duncan would have had a layup. And Duncan will go to the line for the first time tonight. Tim Duncan in the playoffs, 66%. But he's shooting free throws much better recently. In fact, in his last 3 games, he's 16 for 20. You see in the finals, he's done a solid job.
And if I'm Mike Brown right now, I'm going to go small. I'm going to put Donyell Gibson back in the game and play James as my 4-man.
And that's exactly what he'll do. Well, they all think alike, those coaches.
Somebody get this guy a job. Man, this guy is good. So if you're Drew Gooden and you got 6 fouls, you have to be over there saying which foul was worth it. All 6 fouls, not very smart.
Although that last one prevented an easy layup from Duncan.
It was because of a gamble, though. He was in position where he had no choice.
And now Duncan with huge free throws. Big shot there from Duncan. That's only the 11th free throw attempt by San Antonio. They're 5 of 11. 45%. And that makes it a 3-point game. Both teams still have multiple timeouts. Neither team with a foul to give.
An interesting decision by Mike Brown. Ilgauskas is on the bench, 9-second shots for Varejao, probably for defensive purposes against the pick and roll.
2 clutch free throws from Tim Duncan. So James and Duncan answer the call at the line, and it's back to 4. Now Ginobili fouled, so the Cavs worked that well, and they still have a timeout to advance the ball for a final possession.
And where San Antonio is so disciplined, the ball goes in. Tim Duncan, their worst free throw shooter, along with Bowen, takes the ball out instead of being on the receiving end of the inbounds pass.
So a 1-point game. Big free throws from Ginobili. He just went to the line for the first time and was 1 for 2. Normally an excellent free throw shooter. For his career, 79%. Varejao will come back in. Now again, the Cavs, whether he makes it or even misses and they get the rebound, if they call timeout right away without advancing, they can then advance the ball to the front court.
And they've got to expect a miss. Do not give up a second shot on a missed free throw.
Clutch free throws there from Ginobili. And Cleveland will call their final timeout with a 3-point lead and 5.5 remaining. So So now the Cavaliers will advance the ball inbound in the front court, trailing by 3. And the fact that they're out of timeouts and there's only 5.5 seconds remaining, they really have to go for a three-pointer right here. Right, Jeff?
No doubt. And if I'm San Antonio, if they catch the ball with their back to the basket, I foul. If they put the ball on the ground, I foul. But if they're just faced up, I don't want to foul because they can rise up in the act of shooting.
Mark, sometimes players have a tough time. They don't want to commit that foul with the chance that the guy goes into a shooting form.
But you're Popovich, you have guys that you can trust. Make the foul. It's the best of both worlds. You're fouling a bad foul shooting team, second of all, so it's a correct play to make.
And watch for Ilgauskas. He does have three-point range. Sometimes the guy that's not guarded to end the game is the center.
And often the inbounder is the one that gets it back. And now Greg Popovich will call a 20-second timeout. Spurs still have 2 timeouts left. Damon Jones was going to inbound. And Popovich will go over his defensive strategy again. Again, if you're San Antonio, you can give up the 2-pointer. There's really no sense defending in the 2-point area, especially with Cleveland out of timeouts.
Well, it's the right play to make, but I love these moments because here's where the great assistant coaches make their money. Tell me what the Cavs run in this situation. That's why Pop can trust his guys. That's why they get a feeling, call the timeout, and discuss what to expect defensively.
And every team in the league puts together a late game tape where they watch all the close games. They'll have these plays down, and now it's up to the 5 on defense to read the situations. Are they going to switch 1 through 5? Are they going to foul? There can be no miscommunication.
Cavs trying to avoid the dreaded 3-0 deficit. Again, Damon Jones will inbound. Pavlovic, LeBron James, Gibson, and Ilgauskas on the floor for Cleveland. 5.5 remaining. They're out of timeouts. James on the drive, fires a 3. Off the mark. Ilgauskas tips it. Ball knocked loose, and that'll do it. The Spurs are now 1 win away from another championship as they go up 3-0 in this best-of-7 series. LeBron James talking with Bob Delaney. Thought there perhaps was a foul.
And Bruce Bowen tried to foul. On the catch, when he put it down, Bruce Bowen grabs him, and that would have been in the act because he was picking the ball up. LeBron James has a legitimate complaint.
There's no question that's a foul. That's what LeBron James telling Bob Delaney. And you're right. Bowen was trying to foul him before the act of shooting and prevent a 3. Meanwhile, Tim Duncan and the Spurs survive, and now with that commanding 3-0 lead, Duncan is with Michelle.
All right, thanks, Tim. LeBron suggesting he got fouled.